The Raptors last night, to me, did one thing. When the first game they played back here and they won, Cleveland did not play a strong game. And so, you could say that Cleveland had a bad game and the Raptors beat them. But last night, I really don't give a flying fuck what any journalist says. Cleveland played at the top of their game, but the Raptors were better.
Frank, I think the top of their game may or may not be factual, but we're going to find out tomorrow night. Because the Raptors played them hard, played them well, and deserved to win.
It's incredible, Frank, what the Raptors accomplished in these two games. They really validated the season that they had, and some would say they didn't have to, but I thought they did. I thought, you know what? They won 56 games. They beat Indiana. They beat Miami. This was a different animal. Cleveland had not lost a playoff game going into this series. Cleveland, LeBron James has steamrolled to 5 straight NBA Finals. He never gets much as far as anything from an opponent in the East, but Toronto has finally been that team to challenge LeBron and challenge the Cavs. What they've done in Games 3 and 4 is incredible. They were great defensively. They made all the right adjustments. Bismack Biyombo was an absolute beast. 40
but he
rebounds.
is a beast. The only thing is he can't do any free throws.
No, he can't shoot.
They should get a stunt double. But he is an incredible catalyst. He's I know some people know him. He's a great human being. And let me tell you something. I know that James for Cleveland is great. But, I think that the press is the press. I think that we have two of the best players in the NBA right here.
And you know what? LeBron James agrees with you. He said yesterday after the game, there's a reason why DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry are all-stars. They played at an all-star level.
But they are spectacular. And you know what has killed? LeBron James is a great player. Don't get me wrong. I love him. And he's a determining factor of Cleveland. He is a Cavalier. If you look at the definition of what a Cavalier is, he is a Cavalier. He's great. He's a magnificent player. But let me tell you something. The determining factor for Cleveland, to me, is not James. It's the three-pointer guy. He's a murderer of everybody. He throws those three-pointers. I know he's a hired hand. He's from the Wild West, but he's the guy who scares me the most in Cleveland than everybody else.
Last night he sank 3 in a row, and the lead went from 16 to 7, just like that.
You're very perceptive, Billy, and you get me. That's my point. He's the
bang,
most...
Bang, bang. You turn the ball over, he hits 3. Go down again, turn it over, he hits 6. Go down again, turn it over, he hits 9. There hasn't been 40 seconds gone, and there...
This fucking guy, break a wrist. I'm joking, I'm being facetious. But this guy, he can throw three-pointers from anywhere, and it's bang on. I mean, I think he's the guy that makes the big difference.
Well, I think the Raptors will they will live and die by the three-point shot. They're more worried about defending LeBron inside, and that's what their focus is, and which is why you saw last night Cleveland go on that big run when they were down 18, because I think Toronto believes we'll let that happen. We can't really do much about that. If we can protect the rim, and we can slow down Kyrie Irving, we can slow down Kevin Love, we're going to be competitive,
Well, I'm telling you right now, you're going one-sided. You're like a chartered accountant of sports, and I love you with all my heart. I'm telling you, they're not the guys that have to be slowed down. The guys who have to be slowed down is Kyle Lowry. Kyle Lowry is an amazing, spectacular player.
Yes, he is.
The Raptors have 3 great players like Cleveland have 3 great players. I mean, I understand that you got to look at the whole court, but 3 players, vice versa, make the difference in the energy and the style or the rhythm of play.
Well, Toronto's big 3 definitely outplayed Cleveland's big 3 the last couple of games. I mean,
I think the most important thing is that they frustrated James.
Yes, they did. I think Biyombo got into his head a little bit.
Well, he got pissed off. He got pissed off.
All that he gave him yesterday, the blocks. Biombo has been a beast, and I think
Biombo is a very important because he's a great defensive player.
Yep.
I think the coach of the Raptors almost lost the game last night because they didn't put him on James, and they almost blew the game because he
had 3 fouls, I think, Frank. They didn't want to get him into a 4-foul position. But
I understand, but it doesn't matter. You got to put him on the best player.
Yeah, well, I'm just explaining why he took him out. He had to take him out.
Yeah, it was weird. I was surprised that Jonas Valanciunas didn't play. He's been cleared to play, and you would have thought he would have got some minutes last night to relieve Biombo, but it didn't happen. So
that was all psychological.
Listen, I love basketball, but I truly am enamored right now, not because I'm a Torontonian, but I just think it's the greatest basketball I've ever seen in my life. And I want to ask you something, Eric. If the Toronto Raptors beat Cleveland, what does it do for basketball?
Oh, Frank, it brings it to a whole new level. I mean, this is the first time the Raptors have been in the conference finals, and you see what's going on. My goodness, if the Raptors reach the NBA finals, and by doing so, will have beaten LeBron James.
I love LeBron James. Don't get me wrong, but
you
last night...
Yeah, you guys are showing the highlights right now of what the Raptors did to them. And, it's not only do they sell out the building, I mean, Frank, the bars are hopping. I mean, I was down...
But we were hopping. Everybody was hopping.
Yeah. No, it's amazing. Jurassic Park is sold out. I had a wonderful dinner at your establishment Saturday before Game 3.
My honor.
You could feel the vibe and the energy throughout all of downtown. It was incredible.